Over the last decade, Uganda has gone through a drastic change in our living and working conditions. Many mothers have to leave their children behind to work, to study, just because of a change in the family dynamics. And it's just not a few mothers. There's a whole load of mothers that have to do this. Question: would you leave your children 6 months or more? I'm not saying these ones of yours of
2 days.
2 days. We've gone with the husband, sleepover, and now, I left the children. You understand what weekend away. No, we're saying 6 months. But hey, you're leaving because of yourself.
Yeah.
It kind of almost feels selfish.
Yeah.
You know, there are times when you're going like with your husband and you're like, yeah, it's because of we are married. We need time away. Another time your mother is unwell, so you go, it's because of my mother. But now you're actually leaving because you've gotten a job opportunity. You want to study and progress. And you're going for more than 6 months. Would you leave your madam? I've not finished I've not even finished the question. Sorry. Okay. So would you leave Mika behind?
My heart cannot take it. My heart is so fragile.
Yeah.
You guys, like when he was like much younger, just being away even at night, this husband, you should ask my husband. He'd be like, your first is just one night. Is he okay? Is he fine? Has he slept well? Has he fed? Even though I have a great support system. So, no. And I feel like I can't say exactly because you never say never.
Yeah.
You don't know the extent of the opportunity.
Like now BBC calls you to read
you.
news.
And it has crossed my mind. I'll be like, how would I compromise?
Yeah.
You know, would it be possible to move with my family so that I keep the connection? So just thinking about it now, my heart is beating so fast.
Like BBC, take your time. She's great. She's great. Not yet, but in a few. Yeah, in a few, you know. Angie.
I guess because I have the opportunity, there's foresight and hindsight and everything. Yeah. So I'm in a situation whereby if I decided to leave my children for 6 months.
Or more. 1 year, 1.5 years, 2 years.
Children are older, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Still
but
no.
You see, like now, they go to school and then 3 weeks I go visit. 3 weeks they come back for holiday.
Yeah.
So I have never spent more than 6 weeks was the maximum, and that was because I was in hospital. But Lord, I don't know how. I'm thankful that I don't have a small one, because that opportunity, in all honesty, I think I'd pass, because I would be there, but I wouldn't be there.
Yeah, you didn't give 100%.
I read Pumla's story on Facebook. I was like, who does this? And how does she do it? You know, you go. But one thing about the human spirit is that when you're put into a situation like that, especially when it comes with me, I will mourn for the first month or so. And after that, I'll dust myself off and get on with it. But 6 months, you guys.
I know what you mean.
I don't know.
So that story,
so
that story that you speak of, even before I did, if you had asked me this question, answer would remain, yes, I would. And because I will tell you why. Not that my heart is not breaking in the same magnitude that yours is, but I have learned as an individual that I'm an individual first. I cannot fulfill my child's needs if mine are not fulfilled. So I think for me, so I'll tell you my situation. My child was, the opportunity came to me 3 times. One when my child was 1 year, the second when he was 2, and the third when he was 3. And I left at the third opportunity because I wanted to study. In the profession that I am in, you cannot progress without a solid educational background. Yes, you have to go. It's not even about the career progression. You have to keep in touch with what's going on. You've got to grow. Your mind's got to grow. You've got to keep reading. Even now, even at work, I have to keep reading because that is what it takes. And when that opportunity came, my son was 1 year old. I got a very good scholarship to go and do my master's abroad. But at the time, I was going through some family dynamics. We couldn't move. It was not happening. So I delayed it by a year. I wrote a letter, please help me. This is a very good chance for me, but not now. Can you, and because my son would suffer. At that time, I needed to do it, but I recognized that my son would suffer. Opportunity came again in the second year. He wasn't in school. His dad was not around. My parents are working. My sisters, my siblings are younger. I can't see anybody to leave my child with. It was not the right time. Again, please, let's defer this. Help me. One more year. Let's see how this goes. And then somebody came to me and told me, you're going to do this until the child is 18. Yes? And then what? What are you doing?
Then you
blame
what?
Him for life. For you might not blame him, but then you will blame the city. You could have made the choice. You don't know. My child was turning 3 years old. His dad came back to the country. He had not been around. He was grown. Now we could talk and have kind of a conversation. So I could explain to him what was happening. So I wasn't living blindly. He was going to school. So I knew that for a part of the day, he's not going to be at home the whole day. No mommy coming, there is nobody. And then at that point, when I got my letter, my admission letter to go and study, I immediately responded yes, without having a clue what I was going to do, what was going to happen. I knew that this is the time, and my heart was at peace. So I felt like it was a timing issue. The first 2 times, I was struggling with a decision. And you can't go when you're struggling, you know? So it's this last time where everything, and let me tell you the best part about this. The scholarship I got was the one, I hadn't got it the first time or the second time. I got it this time, and it's the one I really, really wanted, you know? And it's like a scholarship people don't get. Like, and I didn't think I would get it. And then when they wrote, I was like, oh my God, this was what, you know, time is everything.
You're right. You know? Like, for me, 2 things about like this entire discussion. The age of the child, and also your support system at that time. Except for you when you said, you know, like even the support system. I have. I don't think it got to 6 months. Maybe it was 3 months. I need to check. I think, I had a fellowship away, and my baby was here. It was a long time. My daughter was, 1.5, coming to 2.
And you went away for how long?
I think it was 3 months. But I could have gone for longer. Do you understand? But like you said, like in terms of the timing, it was okay. My husband looked at me and said, and he's always been these people of, I will never stand in the way of your opportunity. So your children should not stand in the way of your opportunity. What would make you say no? Now you see the children. He said, and me? I'm here. So what do you want to say? You understand? I'm incapable, please. Just because she's 1.5 years. What is it that I can't do? Clean a day, please. I can't. Go. You understand? So it's also very important to have that support system that can tell you it's okay. You know, you can do this, you can. It make all the difference.
I know.
Rosette.
The most I've been away from my kids is, 5 days? Well, it was
For 2 minutes.
Precisely.
Like now.
You went out like now. But I don't think I would make the decision, especially now that they are very young, much younger. I think when they are older and the opportunity is great, like I hear you and I can't even judge you because
Don't.
You as a career, like,
No, no.
like I can't. I can't. Like I hear you.
You have a career, like at the end of the day, people will judge your decision,
But they're not going to
say I'll pay his school fees.
You get, like, we keep judging you. Hey, like, Mukwano, I need like 100K fees. She was there going abroad. But she's, you know, so when you make your decision, I hear you. If it were up to me, I guess I would. But right now, I'm glad I've not got that opportunity. If I want the opportunity, it's just for a vacay with them. Yeah, weekend away. But
we
you know, like
as
like
Manuela said, once again, beyond the support system, it starts from the nucleus family.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes. Yeah.
So first of all, husband
yeah.
has to support your decision so you don't feel too guilty.
Or baby daddy.
Or exactly. Or in other cases, like my case, maybe there was no financial, should I say? Because me, I can live in the smallest amount of money and the largest amount. So if you're in that situation, but there's being in a situation whereby you are the main caregiver and you're paying
and you
the
have
bill
to
and
go,
everything. So
it reminds me of a story, not a story, a post, a message that we got from Dora Casey. And Dora Casey said, I have a 6-year-old daughter, and I was a hands-on mom that I had to leave my job when she started school at about 3.5 to give her more time. I decided to run my own business so as to be flexible of whenever she needed me. But I later got a great opportunity and traveled for about a year and a few months now. I had never left her, not even for a month. We talked about it before I left, that mommy is going away for a long time, and I felt her little self tried or seemed to understand it. And she has been great. My family is amazing with her. Everyone is supportive. We FaceTime as much as we can. We have great conversations about home, school. I try to ask her to tell me everything. Until recently, she seems unhappy. Every time we talk, she gets emotional. She cries about almost anything. She doesn't eat that much, so she's lost so much weight. She doesn't want to go to school. I fear she's breaking down emotionally. Living with my sister was ideal and seemed the best option, as she has cousins to play and interact with. They are great and very supportive. I now feel guilty and a bit distressed too, because I feel like I'm not doing enough. How can I be a great mom even when I'm away? And Dora, yeah.
Oh my God.
First of all, we feel her. And I would like to say to people like Dora, we see when you write to us, to the point that we were so touched by this message to us that we said, no, let's talk about this. Like, let's actually dig into this. Can we find someone who can support Dora? Sometimes we've not done those things ourselves. We have an opinion about it, but we can't get someone who might be able to help you as a mother in a similar situation. But she asked a very important question. How can I be a great mom even when I'm away?
I wish I knew this before I had left. It's something I read about later. I didn't practice it. I struggled like Dora the whole year, and I'll tell you, from the first month to the last month.
I thought you were away like you were for like
the whole year.
Yeah.
I cried because I didn't know how to deal. Everything was my fault. Everything that was happening with the child was because I was away. So I want to tell Dora something. That's motherhood. Even when you're there, the exact same things Dora is talking about, they would still happen. So her fears are valid. And I don't want to dismiss the fact that maybe it's because she's away, but I want her, Dora, I need you to understand that whatever is happening now, what you've told me, even my child has gone through them when I'm at home. He goes through emotional turmoil. He has tantrums. He doesn't want to eat. He loses weight. He doesn't want to go to school. He's clingy. He shuts down at different ages. It won't matter. So you need to understand that children go through stages. The only problem right now is you're not around to experience those stages. You're a leave-away mom. The same way there's a work-at-home mom, stay-at-home mom, you're a leave-away mom. And it is okay. For as long as you trust your support system. Don't feel guilty all the time. It's allowed. Maybe break down and have your times. Even us who live with our children, we break down. We go to the bathroom and cry because we are not doing enough. You will never be 100% enough, and you actually will be enough. You might just never feel it, and just be you, do you. You made the decision. So live with it. Be the best mother you can be away from your child. And one of the ways I can tell you, you mentioned that you Skype, keep doing that. FaceTime, be present, be present, be consistent. Be consistent in what you do. She's a 6-year-old, she's going through, a phase. They talk about puberty, adolescence. 6-year-olds, I don't know if anybody knows this, 6-year-olds go through a transition. That 5 to 6, the formative years, 5 years to the 6, 7, there is a period there where children change emotionally. You can't dissect a child, even a 10-year-old, everything you mentioned, same, even in Uganda. We suffer the same problems when we are with our children. Don't feel bad. It's the worst thing you can do for yourself to feel bad. Do not feel bad about it.
Something that Pumla said, which I use like even in other situations in life. I think sometimes allow yourself to go through the emotions and do what you need to do.
Do what you need to do.
If it's crying in your pillow, if it's writing a journal, if it's talking to a friend or just do what you need to do, not to bottle up the emotions. Let them out. Be weak. Be vulnerable. But understand, like she said, that kids go through these phases, whether you are with them or not, and that you are being the best mom that you can be to your daughter.
Angie, you look like...
I disagree a little bit, but well, I'm no expert at this. I think it all comes down to the same thing. First and foremost, people need to understand when you have a support system, give it a chance to work. If you are feeling guilty or torn and you speak to your child every day, slowly that child starts picking up on those emotions. I encourage this whole modern thing of FaceTime and Skype and everything. But when I leave my children have been raised by 4 great women. When I leave my children with my sister, who's their mami kubwa, mama mdogo, ama mama mkubwa, right? I leave them. You understand me? Because that constant, like when we travel, maybe we go on holiday and we're not with the children. My husband will always say, can we call home? And I say, I will call the day before we are going home. Because even if I speak to them and we still have 7 days to go, I cannot do anything about it. So it will ruin my mood, it will ruin their mood as well. A 6-year-old most likely also is moving into primary school. So if he's been in his kindergarten at the cradle, he's moved to, he's gotten to the, No, cradle is the best. So if he's gotten to that stage, he's now gone to big people's school. So new friends, new environment, new rules, new schedule, all this, all of a sudden I need my mommy. But if you've left your child with your sister, that is his mom. And in that time. And if you do not speak to this child for the next 6 months, all you'll feel is, okay, I haven't seen my child. But when you get back, you'll start exactly where you stopped. But it gives a chance for this child to bond with this other mom. The way we did
who is the person they have in that time.
The way things were done in the old days. Forgive me, I keep going back to that. You get what I mean? Let people mother your babies, but you're calling, did you eat? Did they read this book to you? Of course, this child now starts saying, okay, so this is how it's done.
That's
an interesting way. But it's an interesting way, especially if also your sister has the same school of thought, because then you have other people who go like, I'm serious, Pumla, just hold on. You have sisters who will go like, can you imagine yandegedde omwana we natakuba tomulirako tabuuza nti omwana nomugamba my baby was sick nomugamba that the baby was sick netugenda mu hospital natamukubirako okumulirako that's why I said you need a sister.
You communicate.
Yes, you need a sister. No. Her problem is not that you're not communicating with her. Her problem is you're not communicating with your child. That's why I said you need a sister or a support system that has the same school of thought. And if you do like now you, Mami Kubwa, you actually have the same school of thought. But you go and check with your sister and you say, do you mind if I call you? You know those things like where you leave your child at your friend's house until a certain time where you're like, you are dying to go and pick them because they're like, you've not called.
Keyword, friend's house.
No, even sister.
I'm assuming, if the truth is, once again, Go back to the olden days. Do you know what a sister is? You've eaten the same food. You're from the, you have the same beliefs. Yeah. So if I tell you that, you know what, I'm leaving you my child, you understand me? But the way I'm seeing things are going, I think it's best I communicate with you. This,
Auntie Mukwano kyembadde ngamba that at that point you've had that discussion, or you already have that same school of thought. Han, there are people who have eaten from the same plate, and they are as different as the North and the South Pole. And I'm not disagreeing with what you're saying. Like, actually, I'm that kind of person. When that time when I left, if you ask my husband how many times I spoke with the kids, because I was like, I can't take myself through that emotional, like I really can't. And I can't take the children through the same. At this point, for these next months, daddy is your mommy and your daddy, period.
I think the way she stated it, they're in good terms.
Yes.
Is doing a great job. Like, she has no doubt. So I think they're on the same page there. I personally have a 6-year-old, and the emotions you're talking about are, I think, very inevitable
because they're going through a transition. I think this is a point where they get it from the baby stage and they're realizing, okay, I'm bigger now. And now that he even has a sibling, you know, he sees you pay attention to the sibling. He's like, I'm not a child anymore. This is too much on me. Because I even feel it.
What is that?
Yes.
I'm a girl. What is that?
Because
What's that song?
you know the emotions
I'm a girl,
she's
not
feeling
a woman. You're there.
abroad where
she is. I feel the same.
when he sees me not come back as early as 5, she's like, Mom, I said don't come back when it's late. I told you not to come back at 9. I need, like, he really shows that he needs my time. And it makes me, like, it makes me emotional. I could literally break down and be like, okay, I'm not doing it right. Yeah. But yeah, you just, you continue being you. The first time, don't give up on it. Be consistent. It works.
That's her model.
She said it's her model. She FaceTime.
I've said that FaceTime, it's like a paper cut. Every time you call, if she does not FaceTime for 3 days, that baby will cry for 3 days. But she will stop.
Eventually.
But this it's not good.
Unless she's FaceTiming all the children. For me, that would be the middle ground. That you have a mommy at home, but you also have a mommy who calls all the children during the week to FaceTime all the children. You, the mom, you're the only one who knows that actually this one is my. Your children should feel like we have two mothers. But for me, I think what I would say to Dora is, Dora, like the way life is, you actually can't have your cake and eat it too. And I feel, for me, as a person who's given my life to work and walk with mothers through their journey of motherhood, it's that, Dora, if deep down, when you go to your bed, like after all we've said and done, you go down and you still have that feeling that you should be with your child, come home. Come home. Come home. Because if that feeling stays and you stay, you will never forgive yourself for absolutely nothing. Come home. Let us raise funds for you to come and see your child for 3 days. You know what I mean? So, Dora, if after we've said it still doesn't work,
line is there's no one side.
come home.
That's true.
So it's absolutely amazing what a mother can go through when they have their child, when they don't. Amazing, maybe hard, maybe not. But right here on the show, for a mom like Dora, because like us, she the longest has been a year. But now this is a mom who for many years has not been with her child. We see her in the next episode. See you soon. Bye-bye.